This video is brought to you by the DC Sparks YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe to receive notifications of new video releases. Hey everybody, DC Sparks here, trying to give you a tutorial today. So there's a lot of talk that's been coming up around this issue, and I thought maybe doing a tutorial on this and explaining some things from a computer guy's point of view, plus somebody that's been gaming in the farm sim community for a couple of years now. And some of the things I've read on forums and other places, just stuff I've figured out too on my own. So the first thing I want to talk about is mods and mod folders. So when you put a lot of mods in mod folders, we tend to end up with mod conflicts a lot of times. And I see Facebook posts and forum posts time and time again that are asking questions about, hey, my game is doing this. Can anybody tell me why? And I'll be honest with you, at least 90% of the time, it's a mod conflict. And you may not think it's a mod conflict at all, but when you take all your mods out and you put one or two in that are being affected or whatever the problem is that you're seeing, you leave those in and you go try them out on a game with only those couple of mods on there, and magically it works. So one of the biggest ones I think that we run into a lot of times is mod conflicts with maps. And this is kind of a surprising subject. In FS17, I went through quite a few of the forums and read posts where people would have issues where a map would show up and something that was on the ground as a fill type like gravel would not be gravel. Like they'd be expecting there to be a pile of gravel there, and it would be like a pile of dirt or something else, wheat or whatever. And really what it boiled down to most of the time is that they actually had two maps in their mod folder. And so kind of what I have adopted as my own way of doing things when playing the game is if I have more than one map that I'm utilizing, like I'm playing on my server or I'm playing on a friend's server, I'm playing a local game for my YouTube series or whatever I'm doing, if I have multiple maps that I am playing, I will never put a map in a folder for a mod folder with another map. And that can sound kind of tedious because now we've got to do this whole switcheroo thing, and it's just painful. It really is. So there's this cool utility that you can download, and if you go to PVTools right here, here's the address, pvmods.com. I can put the link down in the text below so you guys can see this. If you go here, this is Dave, or Dajnet is what he's known for his Twitch name and his YouTube name. This is his website where he gives out his maps and all of his mods for his maps that he uses. And he has put out one of the coolest tools ever. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know if he writes it. I don't know if somebody else writes it for him or what happens. But this is the home page right here. And if we go to page 4, because their stuff is listed by date that it was applied, you can come down here and you can find this PVTools mod that's right here. And I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to go to download, and I'm going to save it on my desktop. And then it should download fairly quickly because this is a fairly small file. And you're going to get this cool zip file. You can use 7-zip or something along those lines to extract it into a folder. But you're going to want to extract it, and then you're going to want to run this setup.exe file right here. And when you run that, it's going to run you through just a normal install like what you guys have seen before. I'm not going to do all that because most of you understand the way to install things. But when you do that, you're going to get this icon right here, this PVTools icon. And when it opens up, you're going to be presented with something that looks kind of like this. So you can see here I've got a Seneca County box, a County Line box, a Nebraska box, a Lone Oak box, and I've got a mod work box down here. Those are ones that I've added, and I'm going to show you real quick kind of how this works. You can also see how there's a whole bunch of gray boxes on here that say select folder. This is where you can click, and I'm going to show you how to do this in a sec to add this. But what this does is this actually edits a file. That's not the one I wanted. And it's probably gonna, yep, it opened the log file. So you got some other handy things in there as well that you can use inside of this menu for opening things. You got your developer controls, so on and so forth. Actually, that might have been the one I was looking for. Nope. Developer controls are enabled. It's a quick way to enable developer controls if you're not much of an XML editor, but you want to do that. And if you go into your Documents, My Games, Farming Simulator folder, this is where you would normally find your mods folder. This is where you dump your mods. There's also some XML files down here that are your settings for your game. And if you open the game settings.xml, which I can show you again, is this one right here. If you open this one in Notepad, or this program that I'm using here is Notepad++, you'll see right here that there's this thing that says mods directory override. Active equals true. This means we're going to override, and then you can see a directory here. So literally what we're doing is we're using this program to edit that file in a cool little GUI window. And it allows us to select different mod folders. So as you can see, like I said, I got Seneca, I got County Line, so on and so forth. If you look in here, you should see a Seneca County folder. You should see a County Line folder. You should see a Nebraska folder. And you should see a Lone Oak folder. I've got all those folders created. If you go into my Lone Oak folder, there's a whole bunch of mods. And one of the maps that should be, or one of the files that should be in here is the map, FS19 Lone Oak. There it is right there, bam. So I don't have any other map files in here. So if we look, right, let's say I was on County Line, we saw, or I mean Seneca County, we saw that on the XML file. If I double click on County Line and I come back over here, see it says the file's been modified. Do you want to reload it? Yes. Well, if I reload it, you can see now that the end of this says County Line. Now, this does present a couple of problems that you need to take into account. Some people don't have a whole lot of hard drive space, so this might be an issue, right? You might not have enough space to do this, because what this is going to require is this is going to require a copy of all of your mods that you want to play with in each one of your folders. Aha, but there's a cool part about this, and I'm about to show you why. So when we go in here and we click select folder, you can see that it gives us a drill down here of a path where we can go select things. So if we go to this PC, which is the name of my computer, and let's say we go, not to that one, let's go to my F drive. My F drive is a 1 terabyte regular old hard drive that I've got in here, right? And then I go into mod organization. You can see that there's a whole bunch of folders left in here. One of them, Pleasant Valley, right? Imagine that. PVTools, Pleasant Valley map. I have it somewhere, right? So if I click on that path, right, now we can see that it shows up right up here. It shows you on the F drive, FS19 mod organization, blah, blah, blah. It's the folder that I just browsed to, right? So now I can type in PV19 Pleasant Valley. I can type that in as the name, and then I get to pick a color, right? So this is the current button color, and then click here when finished. And now if we look down here, we've got a new button, PV19 Pleasant Valley. And if I click on that one, and I open my XML file, it has changed. Yes, I want to reload. Now we can look and we can see that it has changed to my F drive, FS19 mod organization, and PV19 Pleasant Valley. So basically what I'm doing is with this GUI, I'm telling my game, FS19, where to go look for the mods that I want to use. And you can set all these up as different ones. So again, if you don't have a lot of space on your C drive, you can utilize a different drive, like a platter drive or something, external drive if you want to that's bigger. Keep in mind, though, that if you have an SSD for your C drive and you have a regular hard drive for your, like I do, my F drive, or you plug in an external drive, those drives may not be as fast as an SSD. So it may take a little longer for your game to load. And if you're playing on multiplayer, you could potentially run into some issues where you have a little bit of a lag while your computer's trying to load the file while you're playing on your game. So those are just some things to take into consideration. But this is a hugely powerful tool, and I think a lot of times people don't know that it's out there because the PV community, not everybody plays on PV maps. Not everybody likes those, but it's their choice to play whatever they want. But anybody can use this tool for any of the maps they want, whether they're playing a PV map or not. Anyway, I hope you guys found this super informative. If you have any questions, you can put those down in the comments below. And if you would, please like and subscribe and get some notifications when we put out new videos. Until next time, guys, happy gaming.